Hello everybody, welcome back to more political chatter, and this, as you read in the title, is the subscriber decided election prediction. I sent out the Google form, I put it in, I made a video about it, and then I put the link, I replied to many of your comments in the past, just gave you the link so you got the notification, and finally, it's time to see which two people won. Now I know, someone does this, and I changed the settings, and I will in the future, so each device can only do one response. Because, really, this is unfair, because people just press, I don't know, there's someone, you know who you are, it's fine, I don't really care, but, there is someone who, gives it to, every single person they know, and it's a lot. So, on the Democratic side, so this is the Democratic side, so we'll do the last place ones. So one person voted for Sherrod Brown. One person voted for Kirsten Sinema. One person voted for Mitch Landrieu, the mayor of New Orleans. One person voted for Bernie Sanders. Two people voted for Michelle Obama. One person voted for Gavin Newsom. One person voted for Chris Murphy. Another person voted for Tulsi Gabbard. Two people voted for Kamala Harris. Two people voted for Pete Buttigieg. 8 people voted for Hillary Clinton. 7 people voted for Roy Cooper. 3 people voted for Steve Bullock, including myself. And then someone gave it to, seriously, every single person they know, because 80% of the responses, just 80 of the responses, 80, with 72.1%, voted for Nina Turner, the Ohio State Senator. Now, I'm actually really happy with the turnout. I know that the 111 responses, most of them are for Nina Turner, and we'll see who this is, the orange down here, because it's the same thing. But still, I'm happy with it, how people voted for different people over here. But yes, in the future, I will only allow one vote for each person. And then, on the Republican side, we also had 111 responses. And, let's see. Larry Hogan got 1 vote, governor of Maryland. 2 people voted for Adam Kinzinger. 3 people voted for Mitt Romney. 3 people voted for Marco Rubio. 1 person voted for Glenn Youngkin. 1 person voted for Tucker Carlson. 1 person voted for Josh Hawley. 1 person voted for Kristi Noem. 1 person voted for Mike Pompeo. 2 people voted for Tim Scott. 2 people voted for Mike Pence. 1 person voted for Ted Cruz. 3 people voted for Ron DeSantis, and I thought there would be a lot more DeSantis. 4 people voted for Francie Starrs, Miami mayor. 1 person voted for Greg Abbott, and 1 person voted for Ben Sasse. And then, who won with 74.8% and 83 votes? Marjorie Taylor Greene. So, 1 person gave it to everyone they knew, and told them to vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nina Turner. So, that is our matchup, and we have it right here. Marjorie Taylor Greene as a Republican versus Nina Turner. Nina Turner is running for Congress currently. We will assume that she will lose, something that she did in a blue wave year back in 2018. And she's a former state senator from Ohio, and she became big by working with the Bernie Sanders campaign. She's extremely progressive. She wants Bernie. She's African American, so obviously that's going to play a part as well. Then Marjorie Taylor Greene is a U.S. representative, so one step up from Turner. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is a U.S. representative from the state of Georgia. She won in a highly Republican district, so her win does not mean much. And she is extremely Trumpian and extremely progressive. Not progressive, extremely conservative. So we have an extreme conservative versus an extreme progressive. It's a very, very interesting matchup. So, let's do this. But we do have to remember that Marjorie Taylor Greene is extremely unpopular. The vast majority of people, whether it be a Democrat or Republican, do not want Marjorie Taylor Greene as president. Only the extreme far-right Republican Trumpians want Marjorie Taylor Greene as president, or would just be fine with her as president. So Turner will win Hawaii, California, and Washington solidly. Oregon, I've classified Oregon as likely in many of my projections, but against Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nina Turner will win it by a solid margin. Remember, I see young progressives turning out for the progressive Nina Turner. This is it. That really does like Bernie Sanders. So I will give Oregon by solid margin to Nina Turner. I think Illinois would be solid. I really see them rejecting Marjorie Taylor Greene. D.C., Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and Connecticut, two states along with Maine's first. Two states in a district that went likely for Hillary in 2016. I think against Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nina Turner would win that by a solid margin. And then, of course, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Vermont would be safe. New York would be safe also. Okay, now let's move on here. So, I think that Marjorie Taylor Greene would win states like Utah, Wyoming, and Idaho solidly. I do think that Montana could be likely, but with the president's unpopularity, I think that Marjorie Taylor Greene might have the edge to be able to make it a solid state. I think Montana would be solid. North and South Dakota would be solid. Oklahoma would be solid. Louisiana, Arkansas, and Missouri would be solid. Kentucky and Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. And West Virginia would be solid. Nebraska at large and Nebraska's 3rd district would be solid. I really see Kansas as a state that I see becoming more democratic over the years. I mean, it went likely for Trump in 2020. So I think that even with Biden's unpopularity, just how radical Marjorie Taylor Greene is, a lot of Republicans will back away. We saw this in the Kansas 2018 gubernatorial election. There was an extreme Republican who was extremely against immigration, similar to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Kansas residents rejected them, and they elected a Democratic governor, Laura Kelly, just to not elect that guy. I think that Nebraska's second, Nebraska's 1st district. I think this could be likely also went likely for him in 2020. Alright, moving on. Alaska would probably, I see this as being, it'd probably stay likely, just narrowly stay likely, probably, I would say. Let's see, I don't even know. We'll get to Maine second, because there are going to be a lot of close states. I really do think that Nina Turner will pull out a win in this election, even though I do not make her win in many of my predictions. I do think that against Taylor Greene, not a lot of people are losing to Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's as simple as that. Even with Biden's unpopularity, they're not. Virginia, likely for Turner, no doubt in my mind. They will reject Marjorie Taylor Greene as much as they rejected Trump. There's going to be a lot of Republican states that will go down in the vote for from the Republican Party. There's going to be a lot of swing states because of this. Iowa, Indiana, and Ohio are 3 of them. Indiana, at this point in time, I don't see being swing. I think it will stay in the Taylor Greene column. I think it will be by a likely margin. I don't see Marjorie Taylor Greene doing pretty well here. Trump narrowly won it by solid margin, but that's just because Mike Pence was his running mate. Mike Pence was from Indiana. If Mike Pence wasn't there, I think he would have won by a likely margin. Iowa, I think, will stay to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think it's going to be by a tilt margin. I'll make it that. I said tilt and then I made it lean, but I will make it tilt. Saying that they did go to Obama by likely margin in 2008 and 2012, that's kind of amazing to me. He won it by 5.8%, but Trump did win it twice. But this shows that they really don't want a radical candidate. If they went to Obama, that does not mean that they are extremely far right. No, Ohio, I do think, would be the closest, or one of the closest states in this election. I think it's hard to say which will be the closest state. But, we'll get to that. That will actually be our last state. I think that Nina Turner will carry Nebraska's 2nd district by a likely margin. Even with the president's unpopularity, Marjorie Taylor Greene will be rejected here. Minnesota, these typically Democratic states, even with the president's unpopularity, Nina Turner is going to win in many of these states. Minnesota will stay likely. I think that New Hampshire will stay likely. I really see parents in the state rejecting Marjorie Taylor Greene a lot. New Mexico and Colorado will stay likely. Honestly, if Biden was just a bit more popular, I would make it solid, or I would make Colorado solid for Nina Turner, but as of right now, some Democrats will stay home for Nina Turner, and that's okay. It's still going to be likely. I see Arizona going lean for Nina Turner. I think that Nevada is likely going to go likely for that's funny. Will probably go likely for Nina Turner. You know, these are just two states. I don't see them liking Marjorie Taylor Greene, especially saying that they turned out for Biden by pretty good margins in 2020. Sure, it's pretty narrow in the state of Arizona, but that was good for Arizona. Go back to 2016, Trump won by 3.5%. But go back to 2012, and Romney wins it by 9.1%, and he lost that election big time. And then McCain won it by 8.5%. You know, so you know, Democrats are definitely doing pretty good in the state of Arizona. I think that this is how it would play out. Against, all right, let's go up to Maine at large. Nina Turner will probably win by a solid margin here. Actually, whoops, will probably be solid. But Maine's second district I think would be lean. I'm sorry. Oh my God, why can't I speak? Probably be tilt Marjorie Taylor Greene. Saying that because this was a state that was definitely swing in 2020. That's what people thought. They thought that Biden had a chance, but it barely shifted to the left at all. Only like 2 or 3 points, right? Trump won it by 7.4%, and I see Marjorie Taylor Greene doing like 7% worse than Trump here in 2020. You know, so I do think that this would turn out to be a tilt state. I also think that state of Texas will be tilt. I don't think that with Nina Turner, it's ready. I think that with someone a bit more popular, who really would, is more popular than Biden or someone like Nina Turner, I see it. But with someone like Nina Turner, who is only a former state rep, or a former state senator, she doesn't really have the experience. She doesn't have a whole lot of name recognition. She does have some, but not a whole lot. So I don't think that she'd be able to pull out a win here. Texas will be very close. Tilt Greene. South Carolina will probably be likely Marjorie Taylor Greene, even with Nina Turner turning out African Americans. I don't see it. Alright, moving down to Florida. If it was against, gosh, I think it's going to be tilt Greene, saying that they are becoming more Republican and they have a highly popular Republican governor. I think this would be very close, but there's so many radical Republicans in the state of Florida, it's insane. Like against Montana or Kansas, there's going to be so many more Republicans who are fine with voting for Marjorie Taylor Greene than in Kansas, Montana, Nebraska's first, whatever, Texas, whatever it may be, Alaska. There's so many more who are fine with voting for Marjorie Taylor Greene because there's so much more radical here. Nina Turner will definitely turn out African Americans. I think it would be enough to carry the state of Georgia. Yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene's home state, but she is unpopular here. She won right in She won right in this district there, right in the northwestern corner district, which is extremely conservative Republican. She was expected to win there. It was no surprise. So I do think that she would lose there, along with North Carolina. Nina Turner will turn out African American votes, and I think that she could win here. Wisconsin, Marjorie Taylor Greene is just too radical. I see Michigan being likely for her. She will turn out African Americans here. I think Wisconsin is going to be lean. Pennsylvania, maybe against Biden it could be likely, who has more name recognition, but maybe because she is less recognized, I think Nina Turner could win Pennsylvania by a lean margin. Then Ohio, I think that Nina Turner might be able to carry the state of Ohio by a tilt margin. Now Obama won it by a lean margin twice, 4.6% and then 3%. So yeah, it goes for African Americans. But I'll make it lean actually. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is just so radical, and sure they stood behind Trump a lot. Democrats thought that they could win here, they could not, and it stood strongly behind Trump. So that is why it's only going to be lean margin. But what really gives the Nina Turner the edge here is that she comes from the state. This is her home state, and ultimately that will give her the edge. So Nina Turner wins with 336 electoral votes to Marjorie Taylor Greene's 222. Thank you for filling out the Google form, and I hope to see you next time.